in the club with the owner. I can walk on water, pop it like, hey, when you on top, gon' hate on you, that what they supposed to do, I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Hey, when you on top, gon' hate on you, that what they supposed to do, I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. 30, I might go around the two, stacking up, I love how my money count on move. With attitude, I got a attitude, and I dropped out of school. I'm going up, check my vertical. Man, I'm breaking every rule. TMZ harassing me, I got a camera crew. I'm addicted to shopping, so everything brand new. Yeah. I'm friends with the jeweler, my diamonds like Shamu.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the Seattle Seahawks. Welcome in, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So you've got 1 week of preseason games in the books. Now you start to really assess some of the vets and, of course, some of the young players.
You're exactly right, because now there's a week's worth of film out there for everyone to watch. And for guys who may or may not make these particular teams, that film will be out there around the league, so maybe they can catch on somewhere else if they have to. But this will be a lot of fun to see how much time the veterans play versus how much time the young guys get.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
And when he's at the top of his game, you see that big smile. That's when you know everything is clicking. That means he's accurate throwing the football. They can't get him down in the run game. And his team is having a whole lot of fun, because when they score a touchdown, some fan's going to get lucky and get the game ball.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And got his man complete. And the ball is knocked out, and the Seahawks have recovered.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 37. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. K1 short. Able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
On second down, Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. K1 short. In there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both first and second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got Hireman. And they've got it well across across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 32 that time. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got some turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Johnson, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Frank Clark. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Newton, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
Returnable for Lockett. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Now Rashad Penny, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back, away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Here's McCaffrey. And some room to roam now. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there from McCaffrey. 51 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
From the red zone now, Newton. Flushed out right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Here's Newton. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Fourth down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. This from 44 yards away. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it. Punt's
better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. The shotgun snap for Newton. And this is incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it'll bring up third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Newton. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up?
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Wilson on 2nd down. They set up the screen to Petty. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. he's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Wilson. And his throw here is incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
On second down, here's Penny. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Third and long, it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Carolina getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Hey. Gun.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Kerry Hyder in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Newton now to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Jaron Reed in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
To throw is Newton. Airing it out for Olsen. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Yeah, and that play was pretty well doomed right from the start. The pressure was really affecting him. Collapsed everything in the pocket. He had to move around, try to get it downfield. Incomplete.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Running into the kicker, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Able to avoid him at the 40. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And out will come the offense as they take over. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Wilson throwing on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position back.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Newton to throw. Buying time to his left. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Malik McDowell in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he hasn't altered what he does.
Here's Newton in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this is recovered in the end zone by the defense. My goodness, what a late turn of events here. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them.
In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What do you see?
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, it's Wilson. Dumps that off to Penny, his running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
On second down, here's Wilson. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Wilson operating from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On first and 10, Newton eluding the pressure right. Fighting down past the 45. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Newton on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
His throw incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. That'll bring up second down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Again on second and 10, it's Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Wilson from the gun. He'll throw. It's caught. Baldwin. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Carolina getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. To throw on second down is Newton. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. The Panthers on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Newton. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So we've reached intermission. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Let's go!
Off the play fake, Ramirez. Going up top. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give him 30 yards there.
Detroit! Detroit!
They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Kerry Hyder in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Holding. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look, and now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here. But the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
Now the first carry for Brian Hill. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
Ramirez now looking to throw on second down. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Set. Green 39. Green.
Back to throw. Ramirez. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll go option on second down, right side. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit as as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Now Brown. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Seahawks. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. To throw is Ramirez. Back to the air on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The kick by Tavecchio is good, and they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now back to throw. Open man is Uzama. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. Back to throw now on 1st down. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Gano the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Now, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Green 39! Green 39!
Here's Ramirez on 1st and 10. Throw left side, taken in by Cobbs. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now Ramirez on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green.
Ramirez throwing again. That's into the hands of Cobbs, right side. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Ramirez now operating from the gun. That's the right side here, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. From the gun, Ramirez. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw is Ramirez. Throwing on first down. Open man is Cobbs. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start.
Here we go now. Green.
Following the penalty, it's Hill. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Tavecchio puts this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Carolina getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting back.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. 66 yards. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Gano out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense. As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Here's Ramirez to throw on second down. He's going to find Cobbs here. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now Ramirez throwing again on 2nd and 10. He hits Baldwin right side. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Oh, pardon me. That play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds an opening past the 40. Wide open receiver complete. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Tackle made by Delano Hill.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Now a handoff. Johnson. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll drop the throw. Got his target, Samuel. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game.
Detroit! Detroit!
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Let's go! 190! 190!
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Coney Ely in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Captain Mutterland.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. looks like he'll throw here. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties. No.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This to make it a two-score game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis.
Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. It's bad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse dipping, I raiding. We act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over baby. Put the bread on me. Bet on my bacon, big and flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like $1 million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott. Took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubble. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubble. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, Super fly for the dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. You say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. The fair gamma stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matt back, looking clean. Dead presses in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Patience thinner than a penny hoe.
I don't do that. But my prison